Welcome to Dungeon Master Deep Dive. In this episode, we'll take a look at how and why the tension and pressure is building for the adventuring party. These are some of the ways that combat is more interesting, travel is less of just a montage, and how the plot lines are starting to converge into important threats and intense moments. The pressure is on, so let's dive in. You might think that increasing the pressure could have drastic effects on the story, and you'd be right. But those effects aren't necessarily a bad thing. No story has a stagnant plotline. Instead, it's filled with highs and lows of the main characters as they explore a sense of self-growth and party development. In order to promote that kind of change, sometimes turning up the heat is vital to the story. Obviously, as any story should follow, multiple plots are always in motion at any given time. But sometimes, in moments that are crucial, these so-called plot points see that many of those plot lines converge. These moments are tense and important because they set the stage for the story that follows it. I wanted to put my players in a position where they would absolutely have to manage their resources, work as a team, make plans, rely on each other, and be quick to adapt to changing circumstances. And that's why the pressure on them drives an important story. To promote some of this intensity, I made a few mechanical changes to the game. I implemented a variation of critical roles in Matthew Mercer's player death system. I made travel less of just a montage, and more of just wandering about with no sense of direction. And I started having random encounters sporadically dotting the plane. These changes have already shown their effects, as the party finds themselves more engaged with the story and knowing that every decision they make is important to their survival. There is an overarching story that is to be told by the entire party, with several threads of subplots dedicated for each character at different points. Each character has to feel like they have ties to the world, and they have to know that in order for them to engage with the story, developments, sudden reveals, and new discoveries are made by each character all the time, and that all contributes to a major story at large. By increasing pressure, providing time limits, spicing up combat, modifying some mechanics, and forcing them to push themselves, the story develops in a whole new way for everyone. And that's something that I love to see in players. Something else that has been on the rise that I love to see is how each player is role-playing their character more. Beyond surface level campaigning, each player feels truly connected with their character, and putting this pressure on them has allowed them to get a better feel for that, making hard decisions when they feel under stress, or on top of that, when they aren't getting to relax every so often. It's a perfect blend of self-driven character development between hard decisions under stress and relaxation. I've actually been really impressed with how the players and their characters have taken these change-ups. I'm glad to see them taking a liking to the story and taking that story into their own hands, driving their own character growth. It's a really great thing to watch them grow, and I'm excited to see how they continue to adapt and improve as the story goes on. That's all the time we have today for our DM Deep Dive. See you next time.